If you thought Thor Love and Thunder, or She-Hulk, or Ant-Man and Quantumania, or Secret Invasion was Marvel's worst, then you certainly haven't experienced the Marvels. Somehow Marvel has become consistent at putting out bad stuff, and I don't know how they will redeem themselves. The future of the MCU does not look really that bright, I can certainly say that after watching the Marvels. The best way to describe this movie is, as the title suggests, this movie is a total mess. Going straight into the movie, the first thing I noticed was its short runtime, that being 1.5 hours, and I immediately knew that wasn't a good sign. This movie is very badly paced, it is very fast paced. Rather than slowing down and building up some momentum, building up the story, establishing character relations, this movie zooms past all of this, which makes this movie very terrible and very messy. The VFX work is also not good, which makes sense because the VFX artists out there in Marvel are being forced to crank out more and more. They are clearly overworking and definitely need some time off because the VFX work in this movie is bad. This movie has one of the most forgettable villain in the MCU. I don't think anyone will really remember this villain after some days, and the climax of this movie was very underwhelming. Probably one of the most underwhelming climax we've seen in the MCU. The action of this movie is alright, good, and the comedy of this movie didn't really work for me, but it may work for others. The target audience for this movie seems to be children, but even they will find this jarring, let alone those who aren't children. This movie feels like a slideshow of random scenes merged from different storylines because it's very random, it's not proper and has absolutely no structure at all. Let's take the dancing sequence, which came out of literally nowhere like a lot of other scenes in the movie, for example. What was the need of that? The amount of times I said what's going on in that sequence is actually crazy. I'm still surprised how Marvel approved of this, and did they really watch the movie before putting it out? I don't think they watched it. This movie is executed so badly that it feels like they really don't care anymore. There is no conviction at all. It feels like when they were editing this movie in the editing table, they just wanted to get over with it. You can very clearly feel that when you are watching the movie. And now to answer the most important question of all. Is it as bad as Morbius? I don't think it is as bad as Morbius, but it's definitely up there. It's just a really bad movie and a total mess. Nothing is proper and there is no conviction at all. Marvel doesn't seem to care what they are putting out nowadays, and the future of the MCU is not bright at all. That's about it. Subscribe.